morning, we're going to be talking about squad goals today. Squad goals, and it sounds cool. But I'm going to give you a few stupid examples of things in life where if I was on my own, it would have completely backfired on me. And thank goodness I had people around me that made things better. So a few weeks ago, I was reversing out my garage and the wall decided to get in my way. Like it was not there and suddenly it was there. And I hit my one side mirror off my car completely. I was on my way to work, so I'm like, this can't be happening. And then I'm like, there's a part of me that's thinking I could just drive without one side mirror. And I'm like, if the cops stop you, you are definitely, I don't know, maybe going to jail. But also on a highway, it's not a good idea not to have a side mirror because you will not see cars without that side mirror. For all the car drivers, you know what I'm saying. And for all of you who don't have cars, get cars. All right, don't steal them. Get licenses and the Lord will help you get a car. All right? And so the one morning, we had gone to a school to run cell, and I came back and I said to my sister, I've pushed this thing in, but there's still a part that's hanging and this thing's starting to come loose again. So I was that good. Let me just take a moment of breaking and then I'll repent after. I, with adrenaline and running out of time to get to work, started paneling that thing back into my car. And I got it there, but it was still hanging. And so I called Sashi out the one morning and I was like, Sashi, I need you to help me. So she tries and she goes, no, I'm scared to break it. So I'm like, yeah, So I start looking and the next minute I push it and click, it just goes in. I'm like, oh my gosh, we fixed it. She goes, no, I was just moral support. And I'm like, well, without your moral support, I would have never had the power to click that in, right? Now, another time I was driving on the highway and I got stuck on the highway. My car decided to have some fun and make the highway a parking lot. And there was traffic. And, in the morning when people are getting to work, they're not exactly very patient with you. And so even though they could see I was stuck, you still had people asking me to move. And I'm like, how would you like me to carry the car off the highway? Because at this point, I am stuck. So I called my dad and I was like, I am stuck. My car is not switching on. And I don't know what to do. I could walk to work, but I'll probably get there next week. And so he came. He fetched me and my car, tied it to his car, and we rope rolled, whatever that is, all the way towed, but we're going to just call it rope rolling because we're on a cool tip with squad goals. And we went all the way around town, around every area of South Africa to get it to a mechanic. But I couldn't have towed my own car. Okay, I couldn't have pushed my car off the highway. I would have died. And I wouldn't have been able to drive two cars at the same time. And one last very funny and stupid example is, Eskom is doing the most often. And so the one day my gate wasn't working, my electric gate that gets me into my house. And I was with a group of girls that are in cell with me. And I said to these girls, right, girls? This was last year. I said to him, right, we cannot have cell until we open this gate. So we are all going to push this gate open. Okay, who needs Eskom when you have us and our beautiful muscles? And so we all got out the car and we pushed that gate open together. We lifted the gate, we carried the gate, and we opened that gate. And then we got inside and we closed that gate without Eskom. All right, so these are really, really, really weird, but examples of things I wouldn't have been able to do without myself. Okay, now, I want us to look at this. So I've been watching the Chosen series. They've brought out a new season. And if you have never watched Chosen, you need to go and watch it. If you haven't seen the latest season, please go. It brings Jesus to life. It brings the Bible to life in a way I've never seen any other series bring it to life. And the Bible is very lively already. But sometimes it's just nice to have that picture where it almost makes it more like you going into the everyday life with them. And as I've been watching this, it's just been so interesting to see how Jesus never did things without his team. He never did things without his disciples, and he could have. He is Jesus. He's opening eyes. He's making people speak. He's reading minds. He could have done everything on his own. He didn't need bodyguards. Okay, he had angels already. He didn't need any of that stuff. But I'm watching it right now. I'm watching the latest season now. And as I'm watching, you just constantly see how Jesus never does anything without his team. And his team, sometimes you really want to punch them. You really want to kill his team. The brothers of thunder are always thundering. Simon Peter is the biggest mouth you'll ever hear in your, one day we'll see it in heaven. But from the movie and the Bible, we know that as well. And I love how Jesus works through them. He didn't need people to make him more powerful. He didn't need people to make him God. He can be God without us. And yet here, he's constantly working with his team. So my question is, why do we hate being in a team? Why do we hate working with people? Because we looked at that video of that. I'm going to use this again because we all just watched it. The welcome home video, right? And we look at that and it's inspiring and it gets you excited. But that's a team of people working together. But then when it comes to, let's do ministry together or have someone that you can speak to and be accountable to, we have issues because we don't realize the power there is in team. So I was editing something of three doctors who were speaking this week. And these doctors were speaking about the fact that because of TikTok, there is a syndrome developing where kids are so addicted to TikTok, they're literally starting to do, there's certain sounds and certain mannerisms they're starting to do without even realizing it because they're getting so addicted to social media. He literally says they produce certain clicks and sounds. It's called TikTok, something with an R, something R TikTok. And he literally said they are having conditions come up because of what social media is doing to kids. Now, social media is not bad, but addiction is bad to social media. And he literally said he's watching this happen. And with that is a rise of depression. Okay? And then they started speaking about, old people suffer with depression because they're getting old and because their lives are coming to an end and because they're irrelevant. So let's medicate everyone, so that we can help people forget about their problems. And then there was a psychiatrist who said, that's where I come in. Because it always helps to speak to someone about your issues. He says, for some reason, the guys like to lie more until their wives are there, then their wives expose everything, and I'm sure that happens. I'm sure our pastors have seen that before. No, everything's fine. The wife, how dare you? You are lying. You did this and this and this. But no, they'll tell you one day. We don't know that, but probably. But he was speaking about how when people are suffering with that stuff, there's something about being able to talk to someone about it. And I was sitting there listening to this, and I was like, he's on the right track. But that's where accountability is so important, because you don't just want to be speaking to someone about it. You want to be getting the best advice possible to overcome the situation, not just someone that you pay to listen. And that's it, listen. So here's the thing. We don't want to be in a team. We see it as weakness to speak. We see it as weakness to be in a team. We get jealous of each other. She's prettier than me. He's got nicer hair than me. She can sing, I can't. He's more popular. He's got away with people, I don't. And so we start comparing and we get jealous. Or some of us think, I don't want to be in a team because people slow me down. I can do things by myself quicker. I don't need to show people anything I don't need to do. I can do things by myself faster. And so we have all these things that go on in our head that stop us from wanting to work in a team. I'll give you one more example from the series. So I'm not going to spoil anything. If it happens to be a 0.001%, I apologize, but it's your fault for not watching it before me. Okay, so what happens is Jesus is now trying to build his team. His ministry is going. There is a lot of uproar. People are getting angry with Jesus because they're not happy with the message he's preaching. And a lot of people think he's a false prophet. And what starts happening is you start watching the disciples having issues with each other. And they're always fighting each other. So if something goes wrong after they evangelize, they start turning on each other and blaming each other. I told you not to use that parable. Yeah, but Jesus used that parable. No, but I told you not to use that parable. Then he falls, yeah, good. No, leave me here to die. I'm not leaving you here to die. You want to contaminate both of us. I just touched your blood. And you can see you can see the issues are starting. And then Jesus says, I want you to do this with this guy. And they're like, but that guy is so messed up and that guy is a bad past. And Jesus is like, but you also have a messed up bad past. He's like, no, but his is worse. And you literally start seeing how the disciples are fighting and picking on each other. And they want Jesus, but they don't want each other. Because Jesus heals people and Jesus makes me popular. And I'm known as the rabbi's disciple. I'm like the celebrity of the day. I'm like Jay-Z's backup dancer, but better, okay? And Jay-Z's backup dancer wouldn't be popular, but more popular, because Jesus, there's no one more popular than him or greater than him. But you literally start seeing how they want to be with Jesus, but they don't want to work with each other. And it's so irritating. I promise you, I want to slap the actors. Never mind the actual disciples in real life when I get to heaven. The actors, because you literally see how Jesus is trying to get them to see that if they work together, they're more powerful, but they're so busy arguing and so busy comparing and complaining. And I don't want to go with him. He's just a mess. And that's us. So I could get irritated with the disciples, but that's us. I don't want to work with them. They've let me down so many times. I don't want to work with them. This could be in business. This could be in ministry. This could be in your family. But here's the thing. You are weak on your own. You cannot conquer on your own. You cannot make a massive difference on your own. You can have influence, and you should. You can make an impact and never leave one place the same, and you should. But when you're working on your own compared to when you're working with a team, the impact is completely different. It's astronomically different. That's how big it is, because as a team, that's when we conquer. Why do you think when you go to war, you don't go to war by yourself? There's Russia, and there's Kayla, ding, 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 ding. And I've got 5 machete guns, and that's it. That's not going to work. If I want to conquer a great army, if I want to conquer something big, I need an army. And if I don't have a team I'm part of, I have no army. Okay, and that's a very lonely life. I know some of you think that would be the best life, but that's a very lonely life to live. It's a very lonely life to live where you're having to fight the battles on your own all the time. And then you wonder why you're always depressed. You wonder why you're always frustrated. You wonder why you're always burning out. You wonder why you hate people, you hate life, you hate yourself, you hate the sun, you hate ESCOM, you hate everything. Because you're trying to accomplish everything by yourself, and you weren't made to do that. You actually weren't made to be like that at all. I wouldn't have been able to tow my own car. And all of you would have thought I'm so stupid if you pass me on the highway and there I've got a rope and I'm trying to pull my car. Don't help me. I am fine. I am strong enough on my own. I'm a strong, independent, brown-haired girl, okay? I am you all look at me back, but you're stupid. Just accept help. No, help slows me down. Actually, does it really? Because without help, I would still be on that highway today. 4, 5, 6 weeks, 7 weeks later, whenever it was. So here's the thing. We come up with so many reasons why sometimes we must do things on our own, or not even maybe you don't have an issue with team, but you have an issue sometimes with doing things with a team. So you like your team and you like people, but you constantly want to do things on your own. Let me just quickly do it. Let me just quickly get over and done with, because it's going to take so much time to help or explain, or now I must walk with this person. And the thing is, if you want to manage your life, so on Sunday, you're either, let's test you. You're either managing or you're damaging. Let's rhyme, please. How dare you break the flow here. You're either managing or you're either, now this one doesn't rhyme. You're either growing or you're shrinking. I don't have you're, what? Killing. Growing or killing. I was trying to find something that rhymes. But that is really, that team comes with that. If you're not managing being part of a team of people who are making a difference, if you're not managing surrounding yourself with people who will walk through life with you, who will support you, who will help you, who will do the vision with you, you are not managing, you're causing damage. Not just for yourself, you're making your life very unnecessarily difficult, but you're just damaging because you're missing out on opportunities that should have been yours. Now look at this. I love this. Look at this. Listen to this. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9. Don't zone out, right? The Bible is not boring, so listen to this. 2 people are better off than 1, for they can help each other succeed. Did you get that? 2 people are better than 1 because they help each other succeed. You can be successful on your own, but your success will be very small. When you start doing things with a group of people, you start building up bigger influence. You start feeding off each other's ideas and strengths and weaknesses. So look at this. Let me take Jesus' disciples. Matthew, very intelligent disciple, tax collector. He was good with maths. You asked him what 2 + 2 is, and he would have told you it's 4 without trying to do quick maths. All right? If you had asked him what 62 times 9 is, he would have told you like this. He was an intelligent man, very intelligent. Then you have Peter, the big mouth. He was good with words. many times in the wrong way, but he was also good with his hands. He was a fisherman. He knew how to work. He knew how to find fish. He was good. He was good with his hands. He probably was good at building things as well. One more disciple. We look at someone like Luke. Luke was a doctor. Luke was a doctor. So he knew all the medical things, and he knew what the body was going through. I don't know to what extent, but do you see how they all had different strengths? They weren't all the same. And what happened was, where Matthew would have been weak in speaking or in confidence, Peter would have had that bold confidence to say, you are stupid, burn or turn. Okay? Don't say that to people ever. All right? But he wouldn't have said that. But he had the boldness to say it like it is. Whereas Matthew may have been a little bit more timid, but he was extremely intelligent and he could work things out for them. Judas, if you watch The Chosen, gives you a very different perspective. He may have betrayed Jesus, but in the beginning, he was brilliant with administration. He was brilliant at handling the books for Jesus, accountant. Whatever he needed to do. He was good at it. So do you see how they're all very different? They hate each other, but where this guy is strong, this guy is weak. They complement each other. They're good for each other. They need each other. My sister is very good at paying attention to detail. I'm very good at starting things and getting things going. She's very good at finishing things. So I'll start something and I'll be all excited to start it, and then I'll start running out of fuel. I'll be like, half a bridge. Right, let's take a 2-year break, And Sash will be like, half a bridge. Let's go. Let's finish the bridge. Now, that's just my sister. But where I'm a little bit weaker, she's stronger. I'm able to start things. She's able to finish things. I make sure I get things going. She pays attention to the details so nothing's forgotten. And that's just in our family. That's never mind the team of 12 I'm in. That's never mind my parents. That's just me and my sister. Where I'm weak, she's stronger. Now listen to what Jesus does here. Listen to this. The Lord chose 72 other disciples and sent them ahead in pairs to all the towns and places he planned to visit. These were his instructions, and he gives them instructions. Why did Jesus not go to these towns on his own? He could have jet skied in the air, landed and been like, everyone. He could have made his voice like a loudspeaker. Everyone, come, fast. And he could have done a whole message. He could have done every town on his own, or he could have sent the disciples on their own. Peter, go there. Matthew, go there. He sent them in pairs. Why? Why did he send them in pairs? Why didn't he send them on their own? First of all, have you noticed when you go somewhere on your own, it's very scary. It's daunting. Unfortunately, Home Affairs doesn't allow you in pairs, but I would have loved to go to Home Affairs in pairs, because that is a very scary place to get lost, because no one will help you. They'll close that facility and you'll still be wondering where you are. Okay? Now, first of all, he knew if I send them in pairs, they'll be bolder. They'll support each other. They'll have each other. They're not going to be in a foreign place, in a scary situation on their own. Plus, if you read further, the disciples made a lot of people angry. The Jews got angry because why are you giving Christianity to Gentiles? Most of us, except John and Nick and Beulah. That's all. That's the only Jewish. They do have Jewish descent in them, right? No, not even them. You're also Gentiles. I'm sorry. None of us are Jews. Okay, so we're all Gentiles, and the Jews were getting upset because the Gentiles were getting told about Jesus, and the Gentiles were getting upset because they were being told they second, or they were being told, oh no, we're the leftovers after the Jews, or whatever. They were getting wrong ideas, and so they were getting upset, and everyone was fighting. And if the disciples were on their own, what would they have done? How would they have handled that situation? Yes, they fought with each other, but at least they had each other, right? So even if I look at the schools we go to for sales, you have a support system when you go with a team of people. It's nice not to have to go on your own. And all the people that go in teams, you notice, when you go evangelizing in a team, it's so much, you have a confidence, you're supporting each other, and you have a common goal. You make each other better. And where I was going to step out, this person steps in, and now I'm forced to step in with them. Or now we're attacking like a whole lot of people at the same time. Not attacking. You understand what I'm saying. But this is what I want to get to tonight. We're squad goals. To manage effectively, to be people who are not just successful, but to be people who have these big lives, to be people who are going to accomplish things that have never been heard of in South Africa or in the world. We need to be conquering with people. Stop trying to do everything on yourself. Yes, you are strong, and yes, you are amazing, but you are not that strong. You are not an exception where you don't need to speak to anyone. You don't need anyone's help. You can do everything on your own. You are lying to yourself, because that is not possible. If you want to be part of something great, you need to be part of a team of people who are stronger in areas that you're weaker in. A team of people that support you. What happens when you get sick? That team helps things continue. That team carries you through even while you're sick. What happens when you fall into, let's say you fall into a really dark moment? Who's going to pull you out of that dark moment if you're not part of a team? You're going to stay there. Your team's going to eventually come and be like, dude, get up. What is wrong with you? Get up. All right, don't kick your team members. But, I'm talking a team in family. I'm talking a team in ministry. I'm talking a team in business. I'm talking a team everywhere. Everywhere you go. What Jesus taught when it came to discipleship is the most important thing when it comes to ministry, but you need to take this into every area of your life. You need to have someone that's helping you, someone that's talking to you, and where you're talking about your problems. You need to be unified. You do. All right, the EFF may be causing a lot of havoc, but to an extent, they are unified in their vision, in their goal of what they want to do. And apparently, they're striking against ESCOM, and I'm like, you're wasting your time because that will not bring us coal. But, they're unified. And if you look at that, the EFF has some stupid goals, but because they're united as a team, they're getting places. I remember when we were doing ministry in Wits, I remember EFF being the ruling party in Wits, in the SRC. The EFF was the thing. Like you'd walk anywhere in Wits and you'd see groups of EFF with their red everywhere. They ruled the campus. And they may not necessarily have the wisest things to say, or they may not necessarily have the best goals, like striking against ESCOM, but they're unified. They have one united goal. If you look at Hitler, he had a really stupid idea to kill Jews and to kill anyone that didn't have, well, not kill, but he hated anyone or was against anyone that didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes. And if you look at it, it was like, dude, you could have fought like bigger battles. You had so much power, you could have done so much more. But because he was able to get people united, even as maybe pathetic as his reasons or his goals were, he almost took over Europe. He almost took over the whole of Europe because he had a united team behind him. He wouldn't have done that by himself. He would not have been able to take over as much as he did if it wasn't for a team. And so I'm not asking you to go and bomb ESCOM. I'm not asking you to organize a striking team and go and strike in Rosettenville. I'm not. But I am saying, if we now take and we have a bigger goal of we will restore South Africa, my family will be restored. This fighting stops today. My school is no longer going to be the stuff up it is. I'm tired of people saying my school is the worst one in the South. I'm tired of saying the South is the worst in South Africa or whatever it is. I'm tired of people in America asking if we have lions wandering around in South Africa because we have tigers. But it's not a lion, okay? So it doesn't count still. But here's the thing. If we take this goal of I'm not going to leave one place the same, and then we start building a team, we start impacting people, getting them to church with us. We start helping them, while at the same time, we're part of a team that's helping us. Imagine the ripple effect it will have in South Africa. Let me tell you something. What I'm hearing about what doctors are saying about this generation is scary. Doctors are saying they've never seen this much depression. Doctors are saying that kids are becoming abnormal. Communication skills are completely deteriorating because of social media. People don't have friends anymore. They have friends on social media, but none of them are real. None of them are real friends. Do you know how many kids, real friends on social media, are friends from overseas that they'll never meet in their life? This is what's happening to our generation. And if you don't wake up and rise up, now social media is not bad. I'm going to say that again, but how much time are you wasting of your life looking at other people's lives? If you put together all the hours over the next 5 years of how much time you spent on social media, you've wasted years of your life just looking at someone TikToking. And what did this do to your life? It didn't. ESCOM took the power still. Home Affairs still messed you up. Your family still broke up. There's still potholes in the road. People are on drugs and flackering everywhere. And we're just TikToking. What are you doing with your life? Wake up. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with TikTok. I gave it up because it was wasting my time. I was like, I need to be productive. But there's nothing wrong with TikTok. But I am going to say this. A lot of you are wasting your time on TikTok when you should be doing something with your life. TikTok is not doing anything with your life. And even if you make it big on TikTok, you'll be big for 2 months, and then someone else will be bigger than you. Because that's what's happening with our social media. Everyone's an influencer now. Everyone has thousands of followers. Everyone is a model. Everyone. What are you doing with your life? And if this is where you start, get a team. Stop trying to do everything on your own. You will not be big. You will stay small. And I'm even watching this in the business world. I watch people who do everything on their own. Their business stays very small. And then I'm watching people learn how to build into other people, and their business is taking off, and it's even getting rid of other businesses. So my challenge to you tonight is, if you're not part of a team, get the person who invited you and get part of a team. Get someone you can speak to. You don't need a psychiatrist who will just listen to you and then have nothing to offer. Have someone who will actually give you something that will change your life based on their own experience. Okay? And then start building a team behind you. Where's your team? And I know I used to hear them be like, oh, that's so pathetic. I don't want a team. Because what then? But here's the thing. When you need something, when something goes wrong, when we need to take a stand against something and you go, right, team, let's go handle this. And you've got people who see you as worth following. People who see you as worth listening to. Where if you say, let's go somewhere at 4 o'clock in the morning, they're like, we're there. Kim Kardashian cannot get people to do that unless she's giving something for free. One of her, whatever. So here's the challenge. I don't care how many followers you have on Instagram. I don't care how good your dancing is. I don't care how popular you are at school. If you don't have a team, that is all temporary and it means nothing. And here Jesus got it right. Jesus, the Son of God, didn't try and do everything on his own. He worked through a team, and even with the team, he sent them out in pairs. Who's your team that you're doing stuff with? When you invite people to church, where's your team? When you come to church, where's your team? In your family, what are you doing to build the team spirit within your family? Why is your family broken when you're in it? You're sitting here tonight and yet your family is staying broken. What are you doing wrong? Because that shouldn't be happening if you're in the family. And I'm not saying that you're the problem, because a lot of kids blame themselves when their parents get divorced. I'm not saying you caused the problem, but I am saying you are the solution. And so if your family stays broken, that's on you. Why are you still in poverty? If you really have an encounter with God and you really begin to manage your life properly, you will break out of poverty. If you stay in poverty 10 years from now, why are you still there? Why are you not managing? And where's your team? Because if you have a team of people, you can do so much. You can accomplish so much, including financially, including in the business world. So I want to challenge you tonight. This is not to say you're terrible. This is to say, wake up. Get part of a team, people that support you. And then get influence. Start actually getting real followers in real life. In the real world, not the metaverse. In the real world. Get followers, people who will follow you to the end of the earth, who will love you no matter what. Who will be there, who will be not your strength, Jesus says, but who will have strengths where you are weak. We need that. Humans conquer as in teams. You don't win a war as an individual. You win a war in a team of people, right? And we are fighting in life. There's wars we fight in life. Spiritual wars and physical wars. Not with your fists, no. But I'm talking there's wars we're fighting. You're going to need a team. You can't do this on your own. And even doctors are acknowledging people cannot do this on their own. But they're just not giving the right way to go about it. We need to get back to the basics. Jesus sent them out in pairs. Why are we doing it on our own? Right? So I want everyone to close their eyes. If you've never accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior, or you know Jesus, maybe you even know the Bible word for word, but you cannot say you've experienced Him. It's a difference between knowing about Jesus and experiencing Him. And I can honestly say, watching the Chosen series has really made me fall more in love with Jesus. And the Bible is enough. I'm not saying I needed a series, but just watching how Jesus interacted and just being reminded of what he did makes me fall in love with him even more, because he's so humble. He's God, and yet he would burst into tears when he'd see someone broken. Little things like that. So humble, so loving. I mean, I'm just a normal human, and yet that's how loving he is towards me. That's how much his heart breaks. But here's the thing. If you push him away and you tell him you're not interested, he's going to stay away. And then you will be empty. And then you will be miserable. And you will be frustrated because you've told him to stay away. And he's a gentleman. So if you've never accepted Jesus, or you know about Jesus, but you cannot say you've ever had this personal relationship encounter with Jesus. You cannot say it's a personal thing. It's just another religion, or it's just another name, or it's just a story from the Bible. And you want tonight to actually say, God, I'm asking you to reveal who you are to me. I'm asking you to flood me with your presence in a way that I cannot deny you. Awaken me to the reality of your existence. Because if you don't personally show me who you are, you're just another story to me. And you want tonight to ask him to really reveal himself to you. Or you would say that you were in love with God, you did have a good relationship, but you've walked away. You've been trying to do things on your own without him. You've been trying to solve your own problems, be your own strength, fix your own issues, and you failing. And you're getting more frustrated because you suck at being God, and you realize, I need to come back. And I need a fresh start. I'm tired of depending on myself. Then put up your hand tonight. Is there anyone? And there should be people. Because some of us, we were strong. We had a good relationship with God and we went away. There are hands going up, but there's a lot more of us. For a lot of you know about Jesus, but you don't know Jesus personally. And if tonight you'd like to ask him to really reveal himself to you personally. He's a personal God. Then put up your hand. Or you've been like, I'm too bad, I'm too messed up, and he's too disappointing me, he's too angry, he will never want me, so I'm never going to give my life, because why would he want me? He loves you. He is calling you. He doesn't care what you've done. He's more concerned about the relationship being restored. Put up your hand. There are a whole lot of hands going up, but there are a lot more that need to go up. Being restored back to him. We've walked away, we need to come back. Or I know about him, but it's not personal. Or I've never accepted him because I've always been like, next time, or I'm too bad, or I'll have fun first and then I'll come back. Just put up your hand if any of that is you. There are a whole lot of hands going up. This is awesome. We're going to pray this all together. But for those of you who put up your hand, please fill out this piece of paper. And when you walk out, Tracy will be at the door. Just give her that piece of paper. No one's going to embarrass you. We want to just congratulate you. It's the best decision you'll ever make. I want everyone to pray this together, but if you put up your hand, I want you to really pray this and mean this with all your heart. Let's say, dear Lord God, thank you for your love. Thank you for your humility. Thank you for never giving up on me. Jesus, I ask you to flood me with your love. Fill the void. Fill my pain. Fill my questions with your love. Reveal yourself to me in such a radical, intimate way. I cannot deny your existence. And I pray, God, that you would help me to learn to depend on you instead of fighting these battles on my own. Thank you that you want to support me, help me, strengthen me, love me, and bless me. And there are people you are bringing into my life that will be vessels from you as well. God, I declare that you are the Lord and Savior of my life. In Jesus' name. Amen. Can we just give them a hand? Amen? That's awesome. All right, so once again, if you gave your life, just please fill out that piece of paper and just give it as you're walking out. There is nothing embarrassing. It's the best decision you'll ever make. And then we have church on Sunday. So don't forget, go and get a hold of people. If you're scared, get a team of people to go with you and go and fetch some people. And let's have an awesome party on Sunday. Yes? Amen. Good night, everybody.